Let's bring in Tamara Nall, CEO of the consulting firm The Leading Niche. Tamara, welcome to Arise Xchange. Thank you. You are a supporter of this law. You run a small business, and you say it has been good for your business. Now, you were just hearing Horace Cooper say that it may be good in this case, but you want certainty from Congress, and they didn't deliver it here.
Right. So for a small business, it depends on what phase you're in, because there are two sides of the argument. For instance, last year when we had fewer employees than we have now, we could not afford to offer healthcare.
You have about 29 employees?
Well, 32. 32. And we'll be at 40 by the end of July. And so last year we were in a position where we could not afford to offer healthcare, but we offered a healthcare stipend. So my employees were able to go out into the marketplace, pick the offering that was right for them and their families, and we were able to still provide health care for them through that.
Now, you're a New York-based company.
Yes.
We should say that New York State has what is considered one of the more robust exchanges working. New York, California. The fact their exchanges seem to be working better than the federal exchanges.
Okay.
So this has been working for you. And you support today's decision then?
I do. I think that when you think about from an American individual standpoint, to be able to have subsidies for everybody is fair. It's not, it's not up to the individual which state was state versus federal.
And you make an interesting point, because businesses compete for employees. So now you're able to offer health care to employees, and that gives you a competitive advantage, because you are below, by the way, the mandatory number to provide health care or pay a penalty.
Yes, we are. But because of the type of work that we do, we provide data analytics, forensics, consulting, and IT, primarily in healthcare and financial services, and those employees want some type of benefit. And so because of the exchanges, we're able to provide that for our employees. If we don't, we can't get the talent we need to stay in business.
What about small businesses that say they had a plan before, but then they implemented the new Affordable Care Act, and their plan was no longer valid, and not necessarily over a broad-based issue, but because of specific issues? Are these legitimate questions that for example, specific things weren't covered, so they wiped out the whole plan? Is that a legitimate argument?
I think for some small businesses it is, and that to me goes to information and transparency, and you've got to make the data available for employers and employees alike to make the right decision. So in that case, if their plan was wiped out, if they felt that there wasn't something that was comparable, the question was there the data there for them to make that, and did they have the ability to be able to pick a plan that was affordable that they had similar to what they had before?
One of the criticisms of this, even among supporters, was that for small businesses, it's just horribly confusing, that the government stumbled its way into this. So the first question is that accurate, and have you seen it improve?
So for us, we're data analytics, so we can do the research.
So this is what you do.
So this is what we do. So we can do the research and make it. But for the average small business that might not, provide such services, it could be. And, I even attended a lot of seminars where they were explaining when it was coming and the deadlines. And there were a lot of people in the room, that were a little bit confused.
You said you attended a lot of seminars, but didn't that take you away from running your business?
If you look, it could, but my business runs without me, so we're in a good position.
That's a good business, by the way.
Thank you. My business runs without me, but for the business owner that, needs to be there day by day to run the business, yes, it does, and it did.
Have you also seen your healthcare costs go up? So there is concern that when you re-sign up next year, that in fact, the prices are only going up, not cutting the way they were going to go down.
That is a concern and a question that actually a comment that I wanted to address on this. I think the way to go forward is that it really has to be an ecosystem approach. So, private sector, the insurance carriers, and the government have to sit down and partner and make sure that they look at whether or not the healthcare is high quality as well as affordable. Because the costs have gone up both for us as an employer and my employees.
Yeah, and that's one of the knacks, is that the current system is not able to be supported the way it is. Tamara Nall, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
You for the
Talk
time.
to you soon.
Okay.